It seems like everyone is obsessed with self-improvement these days, but maybe it's not as great as we think. It's almost ironic how most of the content on self-improvement makes us feel overwhelmed. Like no matter what we do, it's never gonna be enough. So how can you continue to grow without starting to hate yourself? Let's get into it. I want to navigate this topic differently and help you achieve growth from a place of self-love. But before we talk about achieving your goals in a healthy way, let's talk about the most important aspect of it all. How do you love yourself? Because after all, hate never built a beautiful thing. Step number 1, stop being around negative people. I had so many childhood friendships that were almost based off of self-deprecation. Our conversations would go a little bit like this. Hey, how are you? Feeling ugly. What about you? Girl, same. I feel so ugly and disgusting today. Yeah, same. I want to lay in bed all day today. Yeah, I hate myself. Yeah, me too. Yep. And that was literally all we did. Looking back on it, this was absolutely horrible for my mental health. Misery loves company. Like this type of group self-deprecation between friends is so common these days. Your brain does not know if you're being negative towards yourself for fun. If you truly want to love yourself, you need to stop making horrible jokes about yourself. And you really need to stop engaging in those types of friendships as well. It's really just not healthy, and it's not going to help you get anywhere in your self-love journey. According to the National Science Foundation, over 80% of our day-to-day thoughts are negative. Isn't that absolutely insane? That means most humans just wake up and we're thinking negatively for most of the day. Negatively about ourselves, negatively about other people around us, maybe negatively around the traffic in the city. I know I'm doing that, but 80% of our thoughts are negative. When you get a negative thought about yourself, I want you to ask yourself where or who that negative self-talk is coming from, because I promise you, you were not born hating yourself. And I want to give 2 quick examples of that. Let's start with the where. As women, ever since we're little kids, we look on the televisions or we look at the magazines and we're seeing how to lose 10 pounds in 10 days, how to get rid of your wrinkles, how to grow your lashes longer, how to do this, how to do this, how to do this. Basically, from the day we're born, all we are hearing about is how we're not good enough. Honestly, it's an incredible marketing tactic. Imagine how much money these businesses are making off of creating insecurities for women.
This is the Special K Pinch.
It's a lot of money. From the beginning, the odds are stacked against us. From the beginning, they want us to hate ourselves so they can get the money. Now let's talk about the who. Who is that negative voice coming from? I'm gonna sprinkle in an example from my childhood. I remember being 8 or 9 years old. I was trying on some sort of crop top for the first time, and I asked my mom, does this shirt make me look fat? Because I think it was something that I probably heard her say to her mom, and her mom was like, no, you look beautiful. I think I was asking for, that type of affirmation, like, please make me feel beautiful. This is my first time wearing this. Like, do I look beautiful or does it make me look fat? Because that's the only way I knew how to describe it back then, She looked me up and down and said, it's not the shirt that's making you look fat, it's you. That was one of the many things she said to me that created this inner voice in my head telling me that my body was never going to be enough. If you think of a lot of the negative things you say to yourself on a day-to-day basis, a lot of them can be traced back to things that people said to you in your childhood. Do a deep dive into that, because once you realize it's not coming from you and it's coming from a situation in your past, you might actually learn to release that. Release those emotions, release the way it made you feel, and start to talk to yourself a little bit nicer. Step 2, become consistent with your goals. Huge step that is often overlooked in learning to love yourself is learning to trust yourself. Keep the promises that you make to yourself. If you say you're gonna wake up early and go on a run, do it. If you say you're gonna start cooking your meals more often, do it. Once you continue to do this, you will build trust in yourself, almost as if you're a friend to yourself, a friend who keeps their promises and does what they say they're gonna do, a friend you can always count on, a friend who has your best interest in mind. Work out, eat healthy, set routines, and do the things that make you happy. All of these things are gonna help you build trust with yourself. You're gonna start feeling safe with yourself. Might sound strange. You're thinking, I do already feel safe with myself, but think about it like this. If you wake up every single day and continue to make destructive decisions, like let's say eating fast food for every single meal, or never working out, or rotting in bed every single day, if you create those types of routines, you are not going to trust yourself to be able to take care of yourself. You hate the routines and habits that you created for yourself, and that creates more hatred towards yourself. I find that when I'm working out, eating healthier, and doing the things that make me happy, I begin to trust myself and like myself a lot more. Right now I'm working on a series called Do Something That Makes You Happy Today. I found myself really struggling with work-life balance. I would work all day long and tell myself, girl, you don't deserve to do any of the things that make you happy. What did that do? That made me start hating myself. I felt like a robot. I felt like anything I did would never be enough for me. It's a really weird out-of-body experience where you're fighting with one half of yourself to do something while also neglecting another part of you. So I made it my mission in 2024 and beyond to try and do something that makes me happy every single day. Honestly, it's changed my life. During Say Yes Summer, I started going to events by myself. If a friend said they wanted to hang out, I would say yes. I tried new workout classes. I tried cooking a lot more of my meals, making new hobbies, and meeting new friends. My Say Yes Summer was basically about saying yes more and allowing myself to experience new things that I could potentially love. My Say Yes Summer has helped me feel so much more confident in myself, therefore helping me love myself more. When I put myself in these types of situations, I get to learn more about myself. And it's like, how did I not know this about you? Well, you didn't care to learn. You have to learn yourself to love yourself. You have to know who you are and what you like. And if you never give yourself opportunities to do that, you're gonna feel lost within yourself. And that's a really weird, unsettling feeling to not even know who you are and what you like. So become consistent with your goals, set routines, do the things that are gonna make you happy, and say yes more. You might learn new things about yourself. Speaking of doing the things that you love, step 3 is all about reconnecting with the things that used to make you happy. Sometimes loving yourself isn't about finding new things that make you happy. It's about getting back to the things that used to make you happy. Get to know the person you were before society told you the person that you had to be. There's a really interesting study about reading books in school. Before going to school, a lot of kids love reading. Can you remember when your parents would read you bedtime stories and you would go to the bookstores and ask them to read books to you? Once a lot of kids start going to school, they actually start to hate reading. Because reading became a chore. Reading became something that was no longer for fun, but it was something that you had to do. And it was graded. It really makes you think about all the things that society has kind of turned into a chore for us. And also about all of the things that we had to let go to fit into the mold that society wanted us to be in. How many hobbies have you had to give up as you've grown up because you just don't have the time for it anymore? There's so many bits and pieces of ourselves that we've just had to let go of and neglect and forget about because we simply don't have the time anymore. Plus, life can be stressful and we've learned to put our own needs below everything else. They're our last priority these days. So, although you may not have the time or the energy to do all of the things that you used to love in your childhood, I recommend doing a deep dive and trying to sprinkle in some of those things that you remember loving. You might start to feel like yourself again. A lot of people talk about finding themselves in their 20s, as if we didn't feel like ourselves in our childhood. I think we all used to love and know who we were. But as we grow up, we start to neglect parts of ourselves and start to feel lost. We just forget who we were. Just try to give yourself some time to reconnect with the person that you used to be. You have at least 5 minutes a day to dedicate to yourself. Step 4, remember that there is one you. And when I say one you, I truly mean it. There is one you. No one else in this world exists with your DNA, your experiences, your past, your knowledge, your personality, your sense of humor. I can go on forever and ever and ever and ever. There are so many things, endless things that make you the person that you are, that make you so important to this world. You are here on this earth with a purpose, and it's yours to find. Human beings need a sense of purpose. The more purpose you're able to find, the more you're gonna love yourself, the more you're gonna feel needed in this world. I need you to take a moment to stop thinking about all the things you dislike about yourself and start thinking about the things that you like. How is it possible that 80% of our thoughts are negative when we are these incredibly beautiful, unique, amazing creatures? Begin showing up as if you have something to say, because you do. Any door that opens for you is yours. So feeling like you're not enough, you don't deserve to be there, who's telling you that? Who says that you don't deserve a seat at the table? Are you kidding me? People see value in you, and you need to see value in yourself. There is no one else on this earth like you. So dive into your purpose and begin to find the reason that you were put here on this earth in the first place. Our final step, our bonus step, is to celebrate yourself. It is so easy to accomplish a goal and then immediately move on to the next thing. I have spent so much time in that trap. I've accomplished some of the biggest things on my bucket list, and I don't even take a moment to say, wow, you've worked so hard for this. How can we celebrate? I just say, okay, what's next? Cool. I was talking to my life coach about this, and she said something that actually changed my life. She said that people with past trauma or people who have had to escape really hard, difficult situations do this a lot. I had this incredibly scary situation that I had to escape from. It took so much work, so much energy, and then when I finally got out of the situation, I felt like the baddest bitch in the world. I felt so powerful, so incredible. It was all I could think about. And then everything after that just started to feel like meh. My life coach said that your brain does not separate the scary situations that you're able to escape from the good situations and the good things you accomplish. Escaping the scary situation to your brain is like, oh my God, she saved our life. Nothing is ever gonna be as big as this. Rightfully so. She said that you have to retrain your brain to also care about the things that matter to you, not just the things that are life or death situations. I know that doesn't apply to everyone, but that was a huge step for me, and it really makes a lot of sense. Now I really try to focus on celebrating my accomplishments, even if it feels unnatural, even if it feels meh, even if it feels like we've done a lot of big things in the past. Hello, do you remember that scary situation we escaped from? Yeah, that was a lot bigger than this work accomplishment. Congrats. Your scary situations, your past traumas, the things that you escaped in your childhood do not have to be the only defining moments in your life. You can retrain your brain to get excited about the things that you're excited about as well. Another reason I never used to celebrate my goals was because I felt like I had no one to celebrate with. I felt like my circle, my community around me didn't really care. And you know, a lot of times I still feel like that. I've stopped telling people a lot of my accomplishments. When someone says to me, what's new? What's up? I'm just like, I'm good. I've been working. Work is good. Really, I don't tell people anymore, hey, I did this big thing. Hey, I did this. Hey, I did that. Because sometimes it just feels like people don't care. And that's something that I'm working on. But at the end of the day, honestly, sometimes keeping those accomplishments to myself and just letting them speak for themselves and only sharing those accomplishments with people I know are going to be excited for me, I think that's the best way to do it. Because when you go up to someone so excited to tell them something new and you just feel like the energy's off and they're not really happy for you and they don't really care, it kind of makes the accomplishment a little bit less exciting. I don't know if that's just me. Maybe that's unhealthy, but you know what? It does hurt, right? So focus on building that community around you who is genuinely excited to see you accomplish your goals. Even if it's just one person clapping for you and supporting you, that can be so motivating and so helpful and just make you feel, really happy inside. If you don't have that right now, just remember that at the end of the day, you are the only person who knows what you had to crawl through to get to where you are today. Because, oh my gosh, if you could just sit down and tell someone your entire life story and everything that you did to get to where you are now and all the work you put in, sweat, tears, everything, I'm sure that they would be shocked. But the truth is, most people have no idea the hours and the work and the effort that goes into accomplishing your goals. They just don't see it. They don't know. But you know how much work and energy you put in. So if after all of that, you accomplish your goal and just meh, after all of that, you know how much work you put in. You should be the most excited. You should celebrate. Even if it is going and buying a cake for yourself and eating it on the floor by yourself, you should celebrate. It's important. And you need to recognize all of the hard work that you put in to be where you are today. I hope this changed your perspective on growth and reminded you to do the little things that matter most. Before it all, you are human. And humans need balance, support. It's just necessary for a happy life. Don't forget, do something that makes you happy today. Thanks for hanging.